Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, in this channel. I want us to look at Kenya Kwanza because there is a storm that is coming over there. Months after buzz, when Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula made the decision to support the candidature of William Samoei Ruto, and they formed the three parties who are the founders of Kenya Kwanza Alliance with what was treated as a power sharing agreement. Now, recently, there was an aspirants meeting in Murang'a, and that aspirants meeting was chaired by Irungu, who is the UDA governor candidate. Betty Maina, the women rep, was in attendance, amongst other aspirants, and also Alice Wahome and Dindi Nyoro. In that meeting, the head of legal affairs at UDA, or rather even Irungu, were campaigning for the six-piece voting pattern. The six-piece voting pattern is where someone votes from the president, governor, senator, women rep to the MP to the MCA in the same party. But there is what is called psychology of voting that shows in a place where a voter is not conversant with the candidates. For example, someone who does not follow the local politics, but on the voting day he wakes up in the morning to go and vote because he's registered in that area, that person tends to vote in conformity, where he will just vote ODM candidates. That is where now the party loyalty works. But when a voter who is exposed and has had a direct encounter with a candidate, probably the governor or the MC or the Senate candidate, now that voter tends to be do not vote in uniformity, or rather in conformity with the pattern. So Mudavadi, who is the party leader of ANC, and Irungu Nyakera. Irungu Nyakera is a farmers party leader. Now there is that party called the farmers party. It's also part of the 11 parties that are forming the Kenya Kwanza. They are protesting, and they've sent a message to William Samoei Ruto that the spirit of Kenya Kwanza was that all the parties within UDA were to be equal, and the six-piece calling by those aspirants, especially Irungu, the Mount Kenya aspirants, is going to hurt his presidential ballot. But then, interestingly, it seems that William Ruto has already held a closed session with UDA leaders even in Nairobi and Kakamega. Boni Halwale was initially campaigning for Cleophas Malala, who is the UDA candidate. But recently, after he experienced a backlash because he tried to address a crowd mentioning William Ruto's name, and he was told Ruto Tawe, somewhere in Kakamega. But then, he has then opted to campaign seeking for his Senate vote and supporting MCA aspirants, or rather endorsing MCA aspirants, without seeking votes for the UDA, for the ANC candidate, that is Cleophas Malala. So and especially in central Kenya, what is happening is William Ruto has directed the aspirants, especially the point figures, that they need to push for UDA to enjoy the majority. In what is seen as trying to curb the other parties that are within the Kenya Kwanza. From Mount Kenya, he has majority because the Farmers Party, Tujibebe by William Kabogo, Chama cha Kazi by Moses Kuria, the Service Party by Mwangi Kiunjuri, amongst other parties. But in that move, in what is happening in Murang'a, is that Irungu is feeling a heat of rejection, or rather is feeling some hostility by what Jubilee candidate Jamle Kamau, the kind of indolence that Jamle Kamau, who was perceived as a latecomer in that race, is now posting, and is facing that Jamle Kamau and Irungu Nyakera, who is also seeking governor seat in Murang'a through the Farmers Party. So this in wide is seen as a move that could actually jeopardize William Ruto's seats in central Kenya. So ladies and gentlemen, I want us to look at the wider scheme by William Samoei Ruto to lock out Musalia Mudavadi and all other small parties within the Kenya Kwanza. If you're watching this video and you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, click the notification bell, and as a normal repeat, like our video. When you like our video, it shall receive more notifications. And I want us to go straight to the point today. Why Ruto wants to lock Mount Kenya out of the others is because of the Jubilee zoning. In Azimio arrangement, apart from NAK Kenya has a candidate in Nyeri, Kabando seeking Senate there, and a few in Kirinyaga and some parts of Meru. Jubilee has majority of the candidates in Murang'a, Nyeri, and Kiambu. So what Ruto really wants is to make sure that he minimizes the intra-competition within Azimio. This is very within Kenya Kwanza. This is very strategic because Raila Odinga, while meeting aspirants from Nyeri and Murang'a, was telling them that there is another phase of vetting where they will pick popular candidates so that people from the same coalition do not face off in the ballot, and in that case they will give their opponent a chance to win. So that is very strategic because William Ruto needs to lock the Mount Kenya as part of his strategy. But you must also look at it in this angle. When alternative party, maybe the Farmers Party or Chama cha Kazi or Tujibebe Party establishes a number of aspirants that can win votes in some of those areas, it's going to create another center of power within the UDA. Now, this is the trick here. The leaders that are supporting Kenya Kwanza, majority of them from Mount Kenya are in UDA. Now, if another party from central Kenya, for example, Chama cha Kazi, which was initially to play this role, would come out bold and attract many aspirants and win seats, it is going to create a home to the Mount Kenya leaders within UDA, and that can create another shift, another center of power. Now, this center of power is what will work in disadvantage of William Samoei Ruto, because what Ruto is posturing himself for is, if he doesn't win the presidency, Raila Odinga wins the presidency, and at the same time Uhuru Kenyatta has retired, he is going to remain as the opposition leader doing active politics, now opposing the government of the day, which will be then Raila Odinga. So that will still make him keep the leaders from Mount Kenya that are coalescing around him, and that is why he does not need another center of power where people are supporting like Chama cha Kazi or Tujibebe Party. But there is also the aspect of the dominance of hustler narrative, and by the way, I think tomorrow I will analyze where the hustler narrative is now, how that narrative faded, and with the observations in the just concluded nominations, it is now clear that the intention of concentrating a hustler narrative in the Mount Kenya backfired. But this will be the catch. Parties like Farmers Party, the Service Party, the Tujibebe and Chama cha Kazi, not all of these parties are anchored on the hustler narrative. Now, with this blend of other parties, that is how hustler narrative is now fading away. Now, that's why William Ruto is now feeling like if you can have more aspirants that are within the UDA, because it is with the UDA aspirants that are talking about forming hustler, but the Service Party have their own logos and their own slogans. Now, to make sure that at least they keep a momentum of the hustler narrative, you need to weed off the other small parties. And this is not something that is going to be very creative for him. Now, there is also a strategy of you must weaken the influence of Musalia Mudavadi within the coalition. This is what can play out. Rigathi Gachagua is not tagging along with Moses Kuria, and Moses Kuria does not also see eye to eye with Rigathi Gachagua. Musalia Mudavadi is also at loggerheads with Rigathi Gachagua and a host of other Central Kenya team. Now, if the other parties within UDA can feel like they've been left out, but they have some support, for example, ANC gets a chunk of support from Western, that Farmers Party, and this all other fringe parties within the coalition, they can coalesce around another candidate after 2022, and that will be Musalia Mudavadi. So to weaken Musalia Mudavadi is you make sure that you have one big party known as the UDA. If a leader now decides to go against the grain in Central Kenya, for example, Rigathi Gachagua or someone, these powerful leaders around William Ruto decides to now, if these leaders decide now to go against the grain, that is the person that gonna create the next niche. And that is why I feel that, of course, William Ruto is making all strategies to knock out others in the eye of rejection happening in Mount Kenya region. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my analysis.